With any product that you purchase, there comes a time when that product is going to be considered worn out. Now, what causes a waiter to be worn out? Well, it can be a number of things. It can be anything from pinholes, it can be excessive mold on the inside of the waiter, it can be problems with seams, whether they're leaking or the tape's lifting up. So I'm going to take a few minutes and show you some examples of these problems so that you will have a better understanding of when your product is worn out and when it's going to be repairable. As you can see with this waiter, due to the large amount of pinholes, this waiter is being considered worn out. In order to take and try to fix or repair all these pinholes would take a considerable amount of time, and it would take a lot of aqua seal. By applying that much aqua seal to this waiter, it's going to take away from the breathability, and again, because of the massive amounts of pinholes, you might not be able to get all the pinholes located and fixed. So there's still a good possibility that it would leak after a repair. Another common problem that will cause a waiter to be considered worn out or at the end of its life is mold. Now, as you can see on this waiter here, it's got a severe case of mold throughout the top section of it, as well as in the back. Now, the reason for this mold is because this waiter was stored when it was still wet. Now, while the mold itself won't necessarily harm the fabric of the waiter, what the mold will do, and the fact that the waiter is being stored wet, will cause the seam tape to lift up off of the fabric. Because this waiter was stored wet and it has started to mold, the real damage is in the seams. It has caused the seam tape to lift along the edge and to separate. And it does this throughout the entire waiter. Throughout the seams, on the legs, the upper torso. You will also notice that the customer tried to do his own self-repairs where these areas were lifting up. Now, with improper storage, these things are essentially ruined. And this is not covered under warranty. It was improper care of the waiter. Even though it is a seam problem, it's due to consumer care and the improper storage of these waiters.